Alright, back on the outside wall. It's a really nice sunny day, actually Mother's Day today, so happy Mother's Day. As you can see, I've been cleaning up all the paint that's flaking off, both there, and I've done a little bit over there. When I use this wire wheel that I've got, it tends to get the paint off the mortar. It actually removes part of the mortar there. So after I clean it all down, and this is all going to go, all the paint here, because I'm going to reseal here because this is a problem area. So obviously it wasn't previously sealed. I don't know if any of it was, but here is quite good. So where I'm getting, but haven't quite decided yet. I may just clean up across here and seal up to there, because this part of the wall is quite good, and I don't really want to have to rebag all that, because all this, I'm going to have to rebag all this. So I think, because this is 20 years and it's never been painted, I think it's got a quite good bond on it, and water isn't getting in behind it. So I think I'm going to just continue this line across to here. I may go one brick higher just because I know, see what happens. And we still have to put an expansion joint in there and grind out this mortar, cracked mortar, and repair that as well. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm just cleaning up the paint, but I'm going to clean all this off, and then maybe later today I can do the bagging. We'll just see how we go, but I'll get into it. This is what I'm using. This is the sort of the wire wheel on the angle grinder that I'm using, and they work really well, but you do need to wear some protection because the masonry is so abrasive, it wears these down quite quickly. And yeah, you get a lot of these little individual wires breaking off and flicking out at you. So I'm going to be running a face shield with goggles and hearing protection, because grinding is quite loud, and for prolonged periods, yeah, you'll be good to have some hearing protection on. And anyway, I'll set you up and we'll get into it. I won't bore you through the whole thing, but I'll give you an idea of what I'm doing. All right, let's get into it. I've got earplugs. More comfortable. Alright, here we are. It's the next day. That's about as far as I got yesterday. My wire wheel ran down, so I need another wire wheel to finish off that part there and that little bit up there. But as today's going to be nice, I thought I would start by, I'm going to bag up to this drain pipe. So before I bag, I'm going to mask up the window like I did the inside. I don't know if you can see, there's a blue tinge. I've got this blue wrap on the inside of the window to stop any paint getting on there. But I'll do the same. I'll blue wrap it, and then I'll mask up the aluminium, and I'll try and come down onto this rubber, because I don't want paint getting onto that rubber either. And at the moment I'm washing it down, because all the dust from yesterday, it drifts across and it was stuck to the window. We hosed it down yesterday, but when I put my hand on it today, there was like all mortar residue, grainy stuff. So I've just given it a wipe down with some soapy water, hot soapy water, to rinse it off gently. And I'm also getting off any bits of mortar. They look like scratches, but just so, yeah, hot warm soapy water. They look like scratches, but they're not. They you just give them a, see this one here, one right there, just give it a bit of a scrub. And they disappear, as it is just the mortar on there. I don't know if you can see now. It's gone, and there's another one on the side here. It's just a little bit of dry mortar. And you sort of give it a bit of going over with the wet part, and then put the abrasive on it. Sorry, I'm trying to. And there you go, it's gone. Okay, so I'm sort of doing that bit of a clean up as well. Well, I've got the soap and then on it, and the sponge out. I've gone pretty much around it. I just got this last bit here to do. I'll finish cleaning that, and then yeah, I'll show you how I put the wrap on. It's not that easy, but the wrap I've got happens to be the exact size of the window, 700, so it should come up to here, but I lose a bit because the contour in this end and that end, so it ends up sort of just on this edge here. But we'll get to that a bit later. All right, I'll bring you back when I'm ready to throw that on. Cheers. All right, so the sun's hit it now, and the window's dry, and the aluminium's dry, the rubber's nice and dry, so I can put the film on now. I just given it a wipe down just with some paper towel, because the towel that I used to dry it had a bit of lint in it, and you can see the lint on there. And look, the film probably would stick to it, but for the sake of going over it with the paper towel, I did it. So, you know, and we're all nice and clean on the aluminium. So yeah, our tape should stick, and I use the blue tape, which is a very low adhesive, so that and you're supposed to be able to leave it on that on for about around 14 days, which is 2 weeks. So hopefully this won't be on that long, but yeah, if I get some bad weather tomorrow, I might be on for at least a week, because even if I get to seal it tomorrow, I need 2 dry days after I seal it, and then but it really needs 3 days before it can be painted over the top of. So I probably won't get to it these days off. Today my goal is to have it bagged. Yeah, have it bagged, and then if I get a good day tomorrow, I'll seal it, just this section of the wall. And then once that's sealed, well, that depends on what the next couple of days after I are going to be like. If it's going to rain, I need 2 days of dry weather after I've sealed it. The third day, it doesn't matter if it gets wet, but it's better if it doesn't. So this time of year it's a bit hit and miss. Unfortunately, I couldn't do it at the start of my days off, so I have to try and work it out. Might have to wait till next week. Anyway, we're going to put the this is the film. Not sure if I showed it to you before. Edge protective window film, and this was about, I think it was about just under $60 at Bunnings. As you can see, just a blue film and a roll, and you stick it on, roll down and pat it down, and it sticks, and it just protects surfaces. It says up to 30 days. Self-adhesive, you know, and it protects against paint and oversprays, mortar stains, plaster residue, right? And it just makes it heaps easier. And that's you know, it's like 76 meters of length, and that's pretty good. So, and it just, yeah, one go down, and then you just tape around the edges where you need precision, you know. So I'm going to get into that. You can have a look at me trying to do it. It's a bit hard with one person on their own, but we'll manage. Yeah, we'll manage. Alright, so the adhesive side is obviously on the inside, so make sure you put that towards your window first. It's not super sticky, but it will stick to itself, so be mindful of that. The start is a little difficult, and I'm not trying to do the aluminium, I just like to get it just over the edge so that the tape can sort of stick to that. Sure you don't cut it too short. Sharp knife probably be better. Sort of stick it back on itself once you're done. One extra trick is don't stick it down too much. Leave a little bit of an edge. A bit like Glad wrap, so it doesn't really have an adhesive on it, but it sticks to itself really quite well. But if you put it down too hard, without a way to lift it back up again, it's most difficult to get it going again when you want to use it. Alright, so now just finish that off. Don't pop them because then you'll allow water to get in there to do it. So push it down as best you can. Just try and stop stuff getting on the glass. Now we can do our tape work. I won't bore you showing you all this, but yeah, I'll just start myself off. You have a nice clean edge to start with. Right. Otherwise, if your edge isn't straight, go short to where you are and then come back up with a straighter edge. Actually, I find that if you cut it on a bit of a diagonal, you can get inner corners better, and then you come from the other way with a sort of like a 45-degree angle on both ends of the taped overlap. Tends to work quite well. Even just down it like that will help you get into your corners more easily. only cover your aluminium. So don't stress about there being a gap between, as long as your aluminium is covered. Get the idea, so I'll just continue with that and I'll bring you back at the end for a look. Okay, as you can see, I got right up into the edge there, no aluminium exposed. That's exactly what you need. I've got a bit of extra tape on that side, that's no problem. I'll just get the a scraper, and there's a gap there, so I'll actually be able to push that into the gap, so that'll hide that edge around there. Or I might even just cut it off. Probably just cut it off. Okay, I'll do the rest of it. Okay guys, sorry I didn't video this a bit sooner. I've had a hell of a day, and it's a good day today, and I wanted to get this done because it's going to keep raining showers the next couple of days and I'm going to go back to work. So here I am, I'm bagging it. I thought I'll give you a look at the consistency. This is basically just normal mortar, but as you can tell by how sloppy it is, you got to make it really wet. It's pretty much like, I don't know, like a runny cake consistency, I suppose. Here's the really mushy cake, and basically this is a lamb's wool glove. They say it's easier with one with a thumb. I agree with them, because you can sort of cup it and do things with it, where the other one, if it's just a mitt, you have less control. And the idea is you put it on, and I just swirling it, because mine was a swirl effect. I don't know if you can see it in there. There's a swirl effect of the old one, and I'm sort of trying to mimic similar. Now a lot of this, the bigger stuff, is going to fall off when it dries, so I'll go over it with a brush, a firm brush, and just give it a wipe over, and the loose stuff should just fall off. That's where I sort of started. I do probably need to go over a bit up there, because I hadn't quite got the consistency right. Now from this new batch up here, I don't know if it's showing up on camera, but here's the wetter stuff. You can probably see it now. Where it dries, you don't sort of notice it, but once you paint it, you will see. There it is better in this light, sort of swirling consistency. I'll just put a bit on now, just to give you an idea of what we do. But basically, you sort of just wipe it on and move it around and down, and try not to go over what you've done, because you just wipe it off. That's it. And just sort of get the idea, just sort of wipe it on, wax off type style. It's a bit hard to do, because I generally put a scoop of it in the center of my palm and then rub it on until I run out. Because once you run out and the glove fills up, you smooth it out sort of like that, rather than get that sort of texture, and that's what I want. So yeah, that's what I do. Normally scrape the glove with the little scooper I have, and then I'll go again scraping it on. But once that glove fills up, with the mortar, yeah, you start smoothing it out rather than getting that nice sort of lined consistency pattern you want. All right, so I'm going to keep going. I'm nearly done. I just sort of got to do the bit down the bottom here and then finish along the top of the seal and up the side there, and I might even go over up there. It looks a bit thin up there, and a couple of spots as well, and I'll be done. All right, catch you soon. All right, so we're all done. Don't know what you're going to pick up on the camera, but if I come close you might get an idea. Where it's sort of dry, you can't see it too much, but I'm assuming, because I've never done this before, that once you paint it you will see the texture better. And I'd say once it sort of really dries, that a lot of this big stuff is just gonna sort of fall off like that. As I rush it, hopefully the texture will remain. We'll just have to see. Yeah, hopefully it comes up okay. I mean, yeah, you can't see much on the camera, but it looks okay to me. I mean, compared to some of the other bagging, it looks pretty much the same. Hopefully it all stuck nicely. I wet the wall down just with a bit of a light spray with the hose on the mist setting to wet the bricks down, so the mortar would stick to it. Tends to stick to things that are wet better than dry. So hopefully that makes a good adhesion. Yeah, and we'll probably, well, this will be nearly a good week as I go back to work. Is it tomorrow? I think I go back to work tomorrow. So it'll be at least another 4 days before I can seal it. So that should give it plenty of time to go off. Yeah, and we'll see what happens once it's dried and brush it off. All right, well, I'll come back once we get to that. Cheers.